am unique. I am one of a kind. I cannot be labeled. But what about when labeling is necessary to share some important information? Then I can be labeled. In this lesson, we're going to talk about organic labels. In a time when cereal boxes have more eco-labels, certifications, and brand-boosting sustainability claims than there are sugary bits in the box, it's easy to get confused. Are these labeling affirmations for you or the company? To avoid low cereal esteem. There are over 450 eco-labels worldwide, and over 60 can be used for food. So we're going to help you tell if a label actually gives you real information or is total BS. You know, based on something not true. Let's start with USDA Certified Organic. This is the one most people are familiar with, and it makes up 6% of total food sales in the US. It's completely voluntary, and in 2002, after over 10 years of planning and debate, it was passed by and continues to be controlled by Congress. This system is managed by the USDA National Organic Program. It's federally enforced, meaning that there are fines and possible jail time for willfully violating the regulations. And it's a public-private partnership, meaning that it can't change at the whims of the label owner or manager as others can. There are rigorous regulations and requirements, and a third-party inspection and certification process for farms and food processors. It's robust, but it's also the government, so even necessary changes can be slow-moving. Now that we've looked at our biggest label, let's explore some others you might see. The national conversation about genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, has been hot for years. And in 2007, the Non-GMO Project entered the chat. This is a product verification program, a PVP to its friends, built around the standard, a document developed and regularly changed by a standards committee. The Non-GMO Project is a single-issue certification. This means that it addresses one very specific concern: GMOs. It verifies products and not processes, ingredients, not farms. And we should note, organic is always non-GMO. It's right there in the regulations. But many products will still carry both labels because many consumers aren't aware that organic products are non-GMO. And the Non-GMO Project website shares that products that are both Non-GMO Project verified and USDA Organic certified experience about 20% sales growth. And growth is important. Non-GMO products also require ongoing testing of all major ingredients considered high risk for being GMO. So it evaluates each product instead of the entire system the way organic does, which means it's one more way to prevent contamination or fraud. The Non-GMO Project shares that they conduct an initial test of ingredients and then spot check on an ongoing basis. And they don't test final products. And they're not a federal program, just a PVP. So we're not saying anyone would ever lie, but there aren't any real repercussions for bad actors. So, for farmers, non-GMO basically only requires that you don't plant genetically modified seed, but they have no regulations regarding pesticide use, synthetic fertilizer use, livestock care, and more. So USDA Organic and the Non-GMO Project are often partners. Non-GMO refers to their relationship as better together. Aww. You look like you love reading, so you can read more about the overlap between Non-GMO and USDA Organic here. Next, we're going to take a look at the Regenerative Organic Certified label, aka ROC, or ROC. In the 1940s, a person named J.I. Rodale began to popularize organic farming methods and started a magazine and publishing house dedicated to the growing organic universe. He also founded the Rodale Institute, and at some point it's said he coined the term regenerative organic to distinguish farming that goes beyond sustainable.
I'm not satisfied with the term sustainability. I think it's very appealing to policymakers. I prefer the idea of a regenerative agriculture.
This was 60 years before we got the USDA label, so the Rodale Institute is like the OG of the ORG. A little regenerative history. Hey, think I just coined that. The Rodale website shares that the term regenerative agriculture was first introduced by your hero and mine, Dr. George Washington Carver. But, of course, they didn't invent this process. Synonymous methods both existed and were inspired by indigenous agricultural practices from around the world and continue to be adapted and translated to 21st century American agriculture. Regenerative Organic Certified was established in 2017 by a group of farmers, business leaders, and experts called the Regenerative Organic Alliance, or ROA. That group was the Rodale Institute, Patagonia, and everyone's favorite shower companion, Dr. Bronner's. Some within the organic community think that organic production, as detailed in the federal regulations, doesn't go far enough towards regeneration. Some often aired shortcomings of organic agriculture include issues around animal welfare, soil disturbance, and hydroponics. ROC also prioritizes continuous improvement. Now, we hope that improvement is a part of every farm, but it's not named or regulated in the government standards. For the moment, ROC is small. There are only 156 certified farms, compared to 26,000 plus certified organic ones. As a reminder, to be ROC certified, a farm or company must first be USDA certified organic. This is an add-on certification. The last add-on label we'll look at is the Real Organic Project. This is a farmer-led movement created to distinguish soil-grown and pasture-raised products under USDA Organic. In a way, the Real Organic Project can be seen as a protest label by farmers who interpret that label as requiring that all crops be grown exclusively in soil and keeping animals outside and on pasture. There is currently no cost, a quick application, and no records or receipts required. And again, a farm would already have to be certified organic. There are a whole bunch of challenger regenerative labels that we won't get into here, but each has a different focus. Some labels are carefully crafted and vetted, but we also want to be clear that the above labels are independently organized and administered and don't have any governmental or regulatory backing. You can just grab a few friends on a Friday night and roll out your own label by Monday. While there are a tractor load of labels out there, USDA Certified Organic remains the most visible, time-tested, federally backed option with transparent processes. But there are multiple choices for add-on labels based on particular need or value. And speaking of value, one thing we do know is that organics can make farmers money. Consumers are willing to pay higher prices for everything, from commodities to carrots to cow's milk. And farmers who have transitioned have definitely noticed the bump from the green and brown label. So, that's organic labeling. We hope you're now labeled better informed. And whatever sticker you're slapping on today, we'll add appreciated. We'll also add see you next time. Oh, and you know what? We can also add organic is life. #organic. What about go green? Oh, and I love organic.